once you use this card, it works for the elevator and for your room one time.
All right, you know when I'm here with this background, I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I'm getting ready to do something. And today I'm getting ready to head to Bermuda. So let's go catch this flight. I have arrived to Bermuda and I am at the Hamilton Princess. I just got in my room, do a quick room walkthrough, and then I'm going to tell you all about the process of getting to Bermuda. So let's check it out. All right, so that was a tour real quick. I'm about to sterilize. I'm about to sterilize first, then jump out of the shower and get out of these nasty airplane clothes, because I've always gotten out of airplane clothes because airplane clothes are nasty, okay? Nasty. Pre-COVID and during COVID and after COVID.
All right, before I get into all of this about how to get to Bermuda now from the US, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell right next to it. So you're notified when all of my videos come out. Videos come out on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. And if you're not, what are you waiting for? Because I provide you travel adventures, tips, and chats weekly. And I want to share that with you. And you can be notified, and you know, if you're subscribed to all of those updates. So now let's get back into this video. All right, explorers, I am back from my shower and I'm going to tell you about the entire process about coming to Bermuda. And so to come to Bermuda as a US citizen and living in the US right now during this pandemic, you have to do a lot of things to get here and follow procedures. So the first thing is that you have to, outside of your normal things, you know, like booking a flight, you have to do that to get here, right? But the first thing is you have to take a COVID test, and the COVID test has to meet special requirements, and I will link the website to Bermuda's government page on where it outlines that, because you know things with the pandemic are constantly changing, so you want to definitely check that to see if anything has been updated before you proceed in your process. The COVID test must be a PCR test. The test must come from an accredited lab. It must have your name, first and last name on it, your date of birth, and it must be taken no more than 7 days prior to departure. Then 1 to 3 days prior to your departure, you must apply for a travel authorization. So you have to have your COVID test results back to submit with this application. In this application, you must fill it out correctly. It is $75 US. Fill it out correctly so you can make sure you don't waste your $75, because you fill out incorrectly, you pay the $75, you're gonna have to resubmit it. You submit that, and I actually submitted it right on day 3, sometime midday, 3 days prior, and I got my approval back maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later. Then you get to the airport. Make sure you get to the airport early these days. They have to check all of that information. So I flew Delta, Fly Delta during the pandemic. That's it. Fly Delta, they're on top of things where you can't even check in at the normal check-in booth. You have, you know, that line where like people have issues, that's where you have to check in, because they check all of your documentation. They make sure you have the travel authorization form. You have to have 2 printed and signed, and you have to have that with you, and you have to have a copy of your COVID test before you even go through security. The issue was, which, you know, I love Delta. They were doing their due diligence, but when I got up there, the attendant at the check-in counter was like, do you have another COVID test? And I'm like, no, why? She was like, well, it has to be within 3 days. And I'm like, well, on their government site, it says within 7. And then at the time I checked, I haven't checked today, so I don't know if Delta's changed it, but Delta even said that they prefer for you to have it within 3 days, but it can be up to 7. But specifically on Bermuda's website, it says within 7 days. And I told her I had to even submit this to get the travel authorization form. I don't know if she was typing and doing stuff for a while, so I don't know if she checked it or not, but everything worked out well there. No other issues, no other questions. Went through security in Atlanta's airport, board your flight. Delta is still socially distancing. At this point, they're doing the social distancing through March 2021. It was an excellent flight. It's only about 2.5 hours from Atlanta to Bermuda direct. So I got here, got off the plane. When you get off the plane, you are met with several public health officials. Your temperature is taken immediately, and then you proceed to a public health official who checks your COVID test. Make sure it was PCR. Also gives you a form because you have to fill that out, and also another form to take another COVID test. And then you also have to give them a copy of your travel authorization form. Oh, and they ask you where you sat on the plane. They ask you that because I guess if someone tests positive that sat near you, they're going to contact you. And then you proceed to another booth. They check, like, make sure you're who you say you are, like your name, date of birth, ask you for your seat again, and then tell you which way to go for customs. So then you proceed through customs as normal, you get your bag as normal, and then when you get your bag, you go out and you get tested for COVID. Same thing, stick the thing up the nose, someone does it for you, and you have to take private transportation. You cannot take public transportation. You take the private transit to your hotel, and you give the government your email address because they'll send you your test results within 24 hours, and you have to quarantine until you get the results back. So I'm seeing it at the Hamilton Princess, and they're making sure people are following these policies. So when you check in as normal, but they give you a key card, and once you use this card, it works for the elevator and for your room one time. You stay in here until you get your test results back. When you get the results back, you send it to the concierge, and then you call the front desk to get a key. Yeah, soon I'll be ordering dinner. You can get room service, and that's pretty much it. I want to share that with you. I will be back with further updates. All right, Explorers, so as you can see, I did not come back yesterday. I've changed clothes, taken my hair down, all that stuff. So it is a new day, and I want to finish telling you about the process of coming into Bermuda. So I was in quarantine, as you know, and I could not leave my room until I got my negative COVID test results back. I I think it was like at 1 something in the morning. So yeah, about 1 something in the morning, I got my test results back, negative. I got those back. So it took about 10 hours for me to get my test results back. I've heard 8, I've heard 6, and they tell you 24. So just plan to be in quarantine for up to 24 hours. And that's what I had planned to do. So that's why I was up late, and then I planned to sleep in this morning. So I didn't even deal with it last night. I forwarded the concierge my confirmation email from the Bermuda government with my negative COVID test. And I finally got my keys, regular keys, where I can go in and out of my room as I please. So, and then while you're here, they give you this log, and every day for 14 days, up to 14 days, you have to take your temperature in the morning and at night. So you have to bring a thermometer with you, and you also have to describe your symptoms when you take your temperature. And then here is more instructions about the COVID testing and quarantine instructions for travelers here. So it says your instructions today is Sunday, November 22nd. That's when I arrive. And it says you quarantine in your room at your accommodation until you get a negative arrival result. And then during your stay, you want to wear your mask at all times, wash your hands, keep physical distance, take your temperature twice daily for 14 days, log your temperature overleaf, and record any symptoms. If your temperature is ever over 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, you must email the email address they have provided here. And if you're here for the 14 days, you will test on day 4, day 8, and day 14. And they tell you where you can get your testing done at. It tells you information like if you do end up with a positive result and what happens. Very interesting process. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Yes. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and a notification bell so you're notified when all my videos are released. And make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are.